So I grew up off of Sade. All right. So beautiful artists. My mother used to play it when I was little. Who did not like Sade? If you from the 80s and 90s, early 2000s, or the 60s, or you are old school, or you an 80s baby, or 90s baby, or 70s baby, and you grew up in the 80s, you could not say you never heard Sade. Sade was one of the best vocalists that was in a band. Back in them days, there was a lot of bands. So you have your vocals, your lead singer, and you have your band. But she was the vocalist of Sade. So let's get into it when this band started. All right, I got my notes here from Epic Records. Shout out to Epic Records. So this show would not be possible without the details from Epic Records. All right, and shout out to all the A&Rs from Epic Records that worked on this project. All right, Sade, the group is from London. Okay, all right, England, London. All right, so they were started in London, 1982. The band was started in 1982, and also their first album came out in 82, and the first album came out in 1986. Sade was doing she was playing with it, like singing in certain bands. She was in another band before she got with the band Sade. She was in another band. All right. So 1986, they dropped the first album, and they was playing with singles, Smooth Operator, nothing will come between us, and a lot of other singles that Epic Records was putting out. So let me give y'all the full layout here. She was signed to Epic Records, also RCA. Like her deals started with Epic Records first, and then they moved on to RCA, and then at the end of the lifespan of the group, they went on Sony Music Group. All right. So let's get more into the story how she got into the band. So it started off her designing clothes. One of the gentlemen came into the store she was working in London, Italy, and said, "Hey man, she was singing." She said she was singing. This one of her close friends provided this information to us. She was singing in the store, and the guy like, "Yo man, you got a good voice. I think you should do it." She's like, "Man, I don't know about the music industry. I don't think I wanna really mess with that." So she didn't want to mess with it. He's like, "No, nah, nah." He said, "No, no, I really think you should. I really think you should do it." What the? How this is moving around? Hold on, y'all. I don't know how that got there, and I had this here. Hold on, y'all. Hold on 1 minute. That's crazy. I had this right here. I don't know how it. Okay, I see what happened. All right. Hold on, y'all. And shout out to everybody listening to us on iHeartMedia and Apple Music. It's also streaming on TikTok and X, formerly known as Twitter. So let me play the pictures real quick. Yeah, so when she started, Sade, she didn't want to do it. Like most of you rappers and singers that want to do this, you don't believe you could do it. She was one of the up and coming young ladies that was a clothing designer that really didn't believe in it. So a guy that didn't even know her was part of the band. He talked her into doing it. So the first record was Smooth Operator. So they wrote it. She wrote it. She actually sung it with her old group and an old band she was with. And it was good. They're like, yeah, you should do that. And the one of the other guys that was in the new band, title after her, said, "Nah, man, you should come. We'll name it after you." And because they didn't like the name of the band they already had. So no, we'll name it after you. Come and see how it goes. So they start doing a couple of open mics and a couple things like that. And it actually panned out right. And she started doing it. So in the industry, when you're doing this and you're a female, back in them days, it was very popular for a female to be a lead singer of a group. Anybody from the 70s, 60s, and the 80s know that you got to really be putting in work to be a lead singer of a group. So Sade, all right? They named it after her because they had another name. They didn't like it. They didn't even provide me the damn name. So I ain't gonna. I got it, but they told me that that's irrelevant. We talk about the group. So they named it after her, Sade. And in a couple of interviews we're gonna play tonight, she break down, where the name came from, and she from South Africa. And one thing I will say about Sade, she never ever backed out of being mixed. She always was proud to say she's black. She's from South Africa. She never said she was white, even though she's mixed. She never backed out of that culture. When being black back in them days was not that popular. Lighter skin was more popular than darker skin. Being a light skinned person in the music industry in the early and the late 80s was would get you in the door than a dark skinned person. But saying that you are black when you look white was not popular back in the 80s or the 70s. Shit, it ain't popular. Well, it's popular now, but back in them days. So before I get into when